Hello there. Welcome back to another horror short. And tonight's story begins in a dark room. The camera slowly zooms in on a closed window. The wind is howling outside. And sitting on the bed is our main character, Sarah. Sarah is whispering to herself, "I shouldn't have stayed here. Why did everyone come? Why can't I leave?" She takes a deep breath and closes her eyes. Then she slowly opens them again, and there is a whispering voice that is heard, but only just. "You can't escape. We are here. We will stay here." Suddenly, we start to see shadows moving on the walls. This is barely noticeable at first, but the sound is now getting louder and more pronounced. And we go back to the past. The camera shows an old photo on a table. It shows Sarah with a group of friends inside a ruined place. It was taken on that very day that they had come here. Sarah looks nervous. "I remember that day," she says. "We thought everything was fine, but something wasn't right. There was something strange about that place." Then the flashback shows the moment that they first entered the abandoned house. One of her friends said, "Wow, what a great place for a party." But as they walked through the door, a strange shadow appeared behind them and they didn't notice it at all. And so the night went on. They explored more of the house, each room being worse than the last. But back to the present. Sarah is still sitting on the bed. Then we hear the sound of knocking from the door. At first, she doesn't seem to hear it, but then she does. "No," she says. "I can't keep listening to this noise." She tries to make herself believe that it's nothing, but it's too late. The knocking is now getting louder, and each time she gets closer to the door, the noise gets more terrifying. Then the voice hisses again. "You can't save yourself. You are one of us now." Sarah opens the door, and there is no one there. But as she steps out into the hallway, ghostly, mist-like creatures start to move towards her. Their movements are slow, but it's like they are stalking their prey. And then one of them speaks, but it's not their voice. It's the same disturbing voice from earlier. "Welcome home, Sarah." And this scares her even more. She turns around and runs back into the room. She slams the door behind her and locks it, but it's too late because the creatures are already inside. Sarah screams and hides under the bed. But they find her and grab her leg. She kicks out at them. Then one of them speaks again. "Don't try to fight us, Sarah. It's useless." She sits there in silence. Then she stands up and runs out of the room. Down a dark corridor she goes. And behind her, we see the form of a massive shadow taking shape. It's closing in fast. Sarah's breathing gets heavier. "What do you want from me? Why won't you leave me alone?" The shadow gets closer and closer. It's moving so fast now. Then grabs her. The camera starts to shake violently and falls to the floor. When it turns right side up again, we see that the creature's standing over her. "You're the cause of all this," it says. Its voice is low and eerie. "Didn't you remember?" Then we pan away, and all we can see is the two of them in the dark room. The creature raises its hand and Sarah looks down at it. The camera zooms in on her face, and she has a shocked expression. Then we go back to the past again. Sarah and her friends are exploring the abandoned house. As they pass through the rooms, we see that the shadow has followed them in. It's a dark, menacing presence that seems to be growing stronger. Then in the next scene, they decide to split up, thinking that it'll be easier to find their way out. This is when things take a turn for the worse. The shadow now appears behind each of them separately. At first, they don't notice it, but as they continue to explore, they start to feel uneasy. Then they begin to hear strange noises coming from the darkness, and they call out for each other. But there is no reply. The shadow is closing in on them, and they are starting to panic. Back in the present, Sarah is now awake. She looks around the room, but it's bare. There's nothing there. Just then, she sees the photo on the table. It's the one that we saw at the beginning of the flashback. As she looks at it, she remembers everything. The knocking, the creatures, the shadow. It's all coming back to her in a rush. She tries to get away, but it's too late. The shadow has found her again. She screams, but her voice is weak, and the shadow's getting closer. She can feel its cold touch on her skin. It wraps around her, trying to crush her. She struggles to break free, but it's no use. The shadow is too strong. It lifts her up and carries her off down the dark corridor. She can hear the sound of her own screams echoing behind her. And we go back to the past again. It's the moment that they first entered the abandoned house. But now we see it from a different angle. As they walk in, we see that the shadow has been waiting for them. It's been lying in wait, watching, planning. The camera pans up to show its full form. It's huge, dark, and menacing. The friends don't notice it, though, and they continue to explore the house. But now we know that they are not alone. The shadow is following them, waiting for its chance to strike. Back in the present, Sarah is hanging onto the edge of a broken staircase. She's exhausted and terrified, but she refuses to give up. She looks around wildly for something, anything that she can use to help her escape. She spots a rusty pipe on the ground below her and reaches out for it. With a grunt, she pulls herself up and swings around to the other side of the banister. The shadow is getting closer. She can hear its heavy footsteps pounding on the stairs behind her. She scrambles to her feet and runs down the corridor. She can hear the shadow crashing through the door behind her. She doesn't dare look back. She just keeps running. Then suddenly she trips and falls to the ground. The shadow looms over her, and she closes her eyes, waiting for the end. But it never comes. Instead, she hears a loud crash, and then silence. Gathering her strength, she opens her eyes and looks up at the shadow. It's gone. She gets to her feet and dusts herself off. She's free, but she knows that this is only temporary. The shadow will be back, and next time it won't be so merciful. As dawn breaks, Sarah finds her way out of the abandoned house. She walks slowly, her head down, her eyes fixed on the ground. She's defeated, knowing that she's not really free. The shadow is a part of her now, and it will always be there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for its chance to strike. The sun rises higher in the sky, but Sarah doesn't look up. She's trapped in her own personal hell, knowing that she'll never truly be free. And so that was another horror short for you all to enjoy. If you love this kind of thing, please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.